All right, so the Raiders battled the San Francisco 49ers in a very highly anticipated matchup. Not only because, of course, Derek Carr just recently was benched and Jared Stidham made his first start, but also, it's Raiders 49ers. This matchup is, obviously something that doesn't happen that frequently, but is always very highly anticipated because the fans kind of hate each other. It's, the original Battle of the Bay, of course not anymore, but it still is a very historic matchup and kind of a big rivalry. So, yeah, the 49ers won 37-34 in overtime. The Raiders blew it. I'm not going to say, everyone talks about how they blow 10-point leads and whatnot. And by no means is 10 points a huge lead in football. So I don't really get why that's a stat. Thank God they did not blow a 17-point lead this week. But, yeah, they did blow a little bit of a lead. But I don't really blame, the offense that much. I mean, Jared Stidham, he was very much impressive, in my opinion. A lot more impressive than Carr. And I know that's a controversial take, considering Stidham, is still not, given a good defense, and the defense is to blame for a lot of the Raiders' woes, but he can run, he can throw very accurately. I mean, yeah, he had a good game, and it was an interesting matchup. It's Brock Purdy and Jared Stidham, two quarterbacks that probably didn't expect to even play at all this season in the regular season, but yeah, I mean, it's a tough loss for the Raiders. They're eliminated from playoff contention. This game was wild. I mean, the Raiders, I thought, should have won this game. They put up 500 yards on the best defense in the NFL, which I think you could probably highly question that statement now after this game, but that's a different discussion. The Raiders had a really good start to this game. They scored a touchdown right out the gate. 24-yard pass from Stidham. He had a perfect drive. And that was to Darren Waller, and yeah, put him up 7-0, but the Niners came right back, got a 2-yard reception from Brandon Ayuk, who ended up having a big game, and so that tied it up at 7, but the Raiders did go up 10-7 after a Daniel Carlson field goal. George Kittle got a touchdown in the second quarter, making it 14-10, but the Raiders responded with a touchdown of their own from Davante Adams, an amazing tiptoe catch in the end zone. And then the third quarter, Davante Adams left wide open, and that's why I question why the Niners defense wasn't that good this game, considering the history of them being so good this year. Davante Adams left wide open. There's no one near him for yards. 60-yard touchdown, perfect throw from Stidham, and under pressure. McCaffrey, 14-yard touchdown run, though, would follow that, and that made it 21-24. Raiders still leading. Niners tied it up, though, with a field goal, and, the teams would kind of trade field goals, and then finally, Jordan Mason got a touchdown for the Niners, but a good drive by the Raiders and Stidham, an amazing catch by Davante Adams, led to a Josh Jacobs touchdown run. Now, the Niners get the ball back with limited time. Robbie Gould misses a pretty, in-range field goal. We go to overtime. The Raiders throw an interception, or Stidham does, puts the Niners in position. They win the game. So that's basically what happened. I'm not mad because I didn't expect the Raiders to win. And, by all means, I know people are saying, the Raiders are holding on to slim playoff chances. Yeah, we need so many things to happen that probably won't happen. So the Raiders, I think, before this game were kind of eliminated. This kind of just seals the deal, puts a nail in the coffin, and kind of sets us towards, probably to be crazy offseason with, the whole Carr situation. Stidham looked good, though. I think, Kansas City next week will be a challenge. I'll be at that game. It's the Chiefs, right? They're a great team. They beat us a lot. And so I think Stidham will be given a task that is not easy, but I think with how he played today against a very good defense will definitely be exciting to see, just how he plays. So yeah, another overtime game for the Raiders. I feel like they've had so many overtime games. Christian McCaffrey had a big game, 121 yards on the ground for him. Brandon Ayuk had a big game for San Francisco as well, 101 yards receiving. For the Raiders, good game passing from Stidham. He did have 2 interceptions. I don't really blame him, though. It was good defense by that defensive line of the Niners that consists of Nick Bosa, of course. And so, yeah, he had 3 touchdown passes, and he had 365 yards. Jacobs had 69 yards running, and receiving, he led all receivers with yards, and also broke the record for most single-season receiving yards by a Raider is Davante Adams. He had 153 yards. So, yeah, I mean, the Raiders should have won this game when, it was all said and done, but at the same time, they're playing a great team. I heavily dislike the Niners. It's just one of those things. It's a rivalry. I was upset when the Raiders lost, and, being in the Bay Area, you have to deal with people just, ultimately being Niner fans, a lot of fair weather Raider fans that switched over to the Niners, and being, sticking with the Raiders as being a fan of them. It's just, it's not easy. I'll say that. So whenever you play the Niners, I look forward to it from a rivalry standpoint, but it kind of sucks if you're the team that loses, which usually happens for the Raiders, right? So Yeah, that's gonna do it. Raiders move to 6-10. Niners win their 9th straight, move to 12-4. Brock Purdy is still undefeated. Yeah, we'll have one more game against the Chiefs, and then that'll be our season. So let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and yeah, go Raiders.